continuously ruins movies by unfavourably comparing them to the book. Oh, that didn't happen that way in the book. You know what? Stop watching them. Go back to the library, and why are you even talking in this cinema? It's obviously not always the case, but sometimes there is a compelling argument that proves that the book did actually do it better. Sometimes the pen really is mightier. I'm Cal from What Culture, and this is 8 Harry Potter moments that are so much better in the book. Number 8. The Quidditch World Cup. The Goblet of Fire's portrayal of the Quidditch World Cup was, to be blunt, a huge disappointment. After so much fan excitement, what we actually get is, well, nothing, really. The build-up is spectacular. We see an incredible shot of the stadium, thousands of fans shuffling to their seats, and teams flying over onto the pitch. But then, it's very quickly over. No match, no action, no broken noses, no dramatic victory. Just a cut to all the fans leaving and heading back to their tents. Talk about disappointing. Number 7. The Prophecy. While Neville is well developed in the films, turning from a sheepish, bumbling kid into a sword-wielding badass who stands up to Voldemort, what the filmmakers failed to elaborate on is his significance with regards to the prophecy. Basically, either Harry or Neville could have been the chosen one, but Harry was in fact the chosen one by Voldemort, who interpreted the prophecy in the way that he wanted. Unfortunately, there simply wasn't enough time to explore it in the films, but there's a far more intriguing read, and Neville's importance are on the pages. Number 6. The Yule Ball. While the Yule Ball is largely portrayed very well in movies, there are certain parts where it's horribly cringeworthy. In the book, the reader is left to imagine a magical event that is overworldly in beauty, rather than a fancy dress party with a glammed-up Jarvis Cocker whining on a tiny stage. Sometimes it is actually better for it to be left to the imagination. Number 5. The consistent characterization of Harry and Ron. No matter how necessary in a long franchise, changing directors between films can produce a certain stylistic difference even when following a set script. This can be seen most clearly in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, where Harry and Ron randomly grew their hair long and started wearing baggy jeans and hoodies. And then, after Goblet, these features very quickly disappeared entirely. It's an anomaly that doesn't appear in the books, as they were written with a single coherent version. Number 4. Ginny Weasley. It's not uncommon for fans of the movies to voice their dislike of Ginny. Seriously, why is she the one who gets Harry? She's soppy, whiny and awkward, and their entire relationship seems forced. Ginny stares at Harry so often that even the audience can't help but feel a little bit awkward. Book Ginny, on the other hand, is so much braver. She's more articulate and more appealing in general. Number 3. Harry and the Gillyweed. In the Goblet of Fire, Harry is given Gillyweed by Neville, allowing him to breathe underwater to beat the mermaid task. Harry is then instructed on how to use it by a mad-eyed Moody. In the books, however, the Gillyweed is given to Harry by Dobby, keeping the character relevant even in a relatively minor way, rather than him just disappearing entirely until he suddenly reappears in the Deathly Hallows Part 1 to die. As a result, we missed out on some delicious character development and any real cause to mourn his passing. Number 2. The ending with the Dursleys. It's almost impossible to forget how much we hate the Dursleys. They were a pompous, sneering family who consistently denied Harry happiness for so many of his defining years, but their redemption marked a sort of final acceptance for Harry that suited his arc in the books. It was a travesty that the same wasn't allowed to happen in the films. After Harry saved Dudley from the Dementors, it robbed the Dursleys of any opportunity to look any more than just a cartoonish caricature when they were written far better than that. Number 1. Countless Tiny Moments. Film and literature are two vastly different mediums, and not only is it necessary at times to cut things out, but it's also pragmatic and can lead to a better end product. That being said, there's a reason the Harry Potter books promote such feverish devotion. The world created by J.K. Rowling is incredibly rich and lived in. One of those smaller details include a hilarious scene in the Harry Potter and the Half-Blood Prince, in which Luna Lovegood announces a Quidditch match. In typical Luna fashion, she completely disregards the rules of the match and rambles on about clouds and other trivialities. And what about the other Weasley brothers, Percy, Bill and Charlie, who barely got a mention? Of course, there was Spew, SPEW2, and Little Winky, or Peeves the Poltergeist. It's countless smaller moments like this that give the book a